September 18th, 2025. Today, the thought of the day comes basically, let me read it, I guess. I just literally read it. It is, oh yeah, okay. Here's my thought. Complete context is required to understand the meaning of any given statement. But because it is actually impossible to achieve, meaning a person's internal intentions can never be fully discerned among a variety of other factors that essentially obscure what the complete context could be or is, a certain amount of faith, whether that's good faith or bad faith, needs to be included in our own interpretations of whatever that statement is. So what that means to me is that people often just automatically apply a good faith or a bad faith feeling to a thing, to whatever statement is made. And initially, I think I kind of was a little bit maybe annoyed by that idea that people kind of just do that. But my statement here is, I guess, more or less the realization that you essentially have to apply something, because it just literally is impossible to have complete context for any given statement. The only way to have that complete context would be to literally know every variable that is related to the position. You'd have to know that person's entire character, their entire being inside and out. So to fully, truly understand what any given statement is, that's part of the context as to why they would make that statement, whatever that is. So, because we cannot know that, and actually there are many other factors that I'm just not even taking into account here that would really inform the context of a statement. So because of all that, we really do have to kind of interpret the meaning of things that anybody says in any sense. And part of that is part of the responsibility of our interpretation is whether we apply a good or bad faith interpretation of it. And it's not just a good or a bad faith, but I think it's the way we interpret things. Sometimes we need to be more careful about trying to understand the position better, doing our own research, looking at the evidence that surrounds whatever the statement is. There's a lot of factors. So essentially, just realizing that we always have to essentially add our bias into receiving that message. It's just the way it is. It's just the way things are. That's probably obvious to most people, but I guess it just took me kind of having to say it out loud to kind of, or to myself earlier when I was having the thought, to kind of realize the importance of recognizing it. So what kind of call to action does that mean we should take? I guess being more aware that we have to apply our own biases to whatever interpretation we have of a message that is being delivered to us by communication or in whatever form that comes. We all have biases, we're aware of that, but I guess realizing that our biases influence the message even more than we might think is important. So I guess that's my call to action. Just chill out on the the strict response that we typically have to any given thing. It's mostly I'm probably directing these at messages that we don't agree with or that we have a negative response to, but really this applies to everything. So those are just the ones that probably more immediately feel like they have a greater impact on the way we perceive things, I guess. My day. So I slept okay. Still not very long. I'm going to bed earlier tonight. My insomnia is not as bad as yesterday, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, I woke up, got out to my daily walk a little late. Today, though, I realized I thought I'd go on an adventure and try a new route, and as I've done every single time I've walked, I've never gone the same route twice, although I've crossed a lot of the same streets, of course, but just take different way about it every time. This time I thought I'd try a whole new street altogether, and without looking at the map, I just kind of wanted to explore a little, and I normally do 3.5 to 4 miles, kind of in that range. Today I ended up doing 6.5 because the way I took ended up being far longer than I was expecting, and there was no like shorter way back. I just kind of went out into the depths. So needless to say, when I got back, I was pretty wiped out. But yeah, it's not the worst thing. It was a nice day. After I got back, I was a little wiped out. I had some things to take care of here at the house. Just kind of ended up kind of wiping out. I think I took a mid-afternoon nap, and then I needed to go drop some stuff off with Adam, so I packed up. That took a little while to put the gear together and get that taken over to Adam. And then after that, I just relaxed. And now I'm going to relax and go to bed at a semi-normal time. Yeah, it is pretty late, but it's better than yesterday, so improvement. Down for that. All right, there is the day. Oh, I forgot to point out, when I was on my walk, a nice, not very old looking slice of pizza was just laying on the sidewalk. As you see here, I don't know why that was there. Pretty strange. But there we have it. Sidewalk pizza exists. All right. Thanks, y'all. Until next time, take it easy.